as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Ready? Look at it. 552. I got you. I got you. Shoot! Eddie! Shoot!
This is Mostert. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Check 13. Check 13.
There's Mostert. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Newton now to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's entered. And the ball is knocked out. And I think they are going to get this one back. Well, that would have been something. Double turnovers. But instead, they'll keep the possession on the INT.
Let's face it, everybody at the start of a game has a mental image of how they expect it to go. And I think that was going exactly as they scripted it offensively. Moving the ball well, seemingly in control. And that fumble, that's got to be a little bit deflating, don't you think?
Yep, foiled the whole plan there. Turned the ball over.
Here we go.
Winston, the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 13.
36, 36. 49, check 49, check 49. What? Least by 2, least by 2.
Boston Scott, his first carry. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Let's go. Great. This by 7. Hey, box truck.
On first down, Wentz. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Williams. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
Mostert, and an alley to run. 30, past the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. Raheem Mostert, 57 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was, and if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They trail here early in this division round game as they seek a spot in the NFC title bout.
Blue draw Corkers. List by 7.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. That's caught inside the 20. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. A big play there for Philly. 57 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Hey, 50 the mic, 50 the mic.
Now Wentz. This is intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Watch the twist. Check 26, check 26. Hey, 20. Check. Express. Motion. Hey, check motion, man. Put your hands on him.
And to give this time to the tailback. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Gun.
Throwing is Newton. And he hits his running back, Tevin Coleman. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Gun. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up.
And to give this time to the tailback. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Ready. 20. Great. Jumping.
They'll try the air now with Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
He's got his man. It's Kendrick Bourne. The 30. 10. 5. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Raheem Mostert with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Gold with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Here we go. 280. Hey, stand. Protein spill. 3. Watch the safety creep. Hey, kill. Hey, forward kill. Bravo. Hey, we're good. Punch.
Looking to throw again on second down. Wentz. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. Well, that's good for a first down. There's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Sunday.
Now a give right side. It's Scott, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Here we go. 180. Other side, solid. 40, 82, 40. Here, shift.
From midfield, here's Wentz. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Hey, Steve 6. Ramp. Greystone, Travis. Switch.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
Bandit. Kill. Check it back. Hey, Echo. Kill. Shit. Hey, other side, solid. Check 24. SOS. Bush. 40. Kill.
They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And able to haul it in is Kittle. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Here we go.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it. Check three.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
5.
Now Wentz. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there, 26 yards. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here. Before we get to halftime. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
You better be afraid of me. Slam.
They'll try to run with Sanders. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders taking it in as they are now on the board here in the first half. Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll make our score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
20.
Here's Newton. Flushed out right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Here we go. 180.
On 1st down, it's Newton. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. No gain on the screen there. It's second down.
No gain on the play. Second and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
Okay, ready, I'll see you.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. This is taken at his 4. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
Orbit.
Check.
Here.
Back to the air on second down. Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mason Foster. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
You can't stop me.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Here we go.
Hey, Delta.
Switch. Hatchet.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Oh, batted at the line and intercepted. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman. The 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Elliott now to add the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Here we go. Their own
25-yard line.
That's it.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
That one good for 26 and a first down. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it seems almost effortless.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Ready? Ready?
Check Mike 27. Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Check. Crunch. Crunch. Crunch.
Kill.
Hey, we got Mike 50. Mike 50, huh? Check. Hey. Mike 50.
On 2nd down, it's Ware. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
On the tackle. A gain of 1 brings up 3rd down and 9.
Get out, man.
Here we go. 120.
50, Mike 50. Hey, I'm coming after you. Check.
Kill.
Watch the whip.
Hey, Alpha.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. To throw, it's Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. D. Ford, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
I'll bring it to you.
To throw is Wentz. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Shift. 61, matchbox lights. 82. Come get some. Come here, shift. He don't want it.
Check your hot read.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 44-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
22-jet bomber.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Sanders. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Here we go. He's coming.
Tyson.
He's coming. Double up.
81. Hey, wahoo! Shift.
54, right there. 54, Mike. Here we go, D. All day, defense.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wentz. Man open. It's Goodwin. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Go.
Mike 50. Man, I got you. And 50, Mike.
Over here.
Check.
Working from the gun. Wentz. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Adam Thielen, 39 yards. As his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead here in the 4th.
I think if you pulled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up, because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
He's checking.
They will run again with Coleman. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 3 yards on first, 4 on second, and now 5 on 3rd down. Move the sticks.
1st down, 49ers.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. This is Coleman. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On 2nd and 11 now. Newton on the screen. This is Coleman. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 35.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Coleman. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
He shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Out of the gun, Newton. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Now, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Boy, so a chance to take the lead here in this 4th quarter, but he couldn't get this one on target.
Everything looked good. The snap, the hold, even the distance. The only thing off, the most important part, the accuracy.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line.
Rush in. No. 52. Jam.
Wins to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Sunday.
Wide. Get wide.
Hey, rip on 2. Out here. Hey, Foxtrot.
Check 25.
Back to throw. Wentz. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Williams. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trust in his quarterback and trust in his offense.
But still.
And then at the end he kind of went, yeah, not really a good reason.
A running play on 1st down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. On 3rd down, here's Coleman. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, 4th down now.
I'm a little surprised right here. They've got 3 timeouts left. The clock's running down, and they aren't using them. Those timeouts do you no good at home. Use them now.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship. And do you think that the printing press is starting to get those T-shirts and hats ready, my friend?
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready because if you win, you've got to hand those out on the field right away. And just think about the pressure for the players now. Families are going to be talking about tickets to the Super Bowl even before you play the conference championship game.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Philadelphia, good night, everybody.